Welcome to Superfest and welcome to the Brawl Stars World Finals. We've got $1 million on the line and just 3 days of competition to get there. It is time to get this party started and get our first match underway.
Joker can just walk in. Oh no! That keeps SK Gaming in the lead, and Lei will take his first match.
The final 3 seconds, Stu's gonna go for it, but there's no chance. Plays it straight into their hands once more instead of it. The pass! And the goal's there from Zeta Division, but extend the lead. A crazy raccoon beat the world champions.
He can't contest, and Dino tries, he might. Space Station are sent blasting off again.
Will have no issue here taking care of their fellow rival.
Finds some damage, but it's not going to be enough. They will proceed to day 2.
This next match is an elimination match.
Zeus chasing down Motep here.
Elevate, they're going on to day 2.
The connection as well, meaning he gets another super down, 4.5k damage left. That's not something Eternal Fire can stop.
Here's Chino over the top, unreal! Charles in a 1v2 to try and save them. It's not going to be enough.
What a close match.
What a day it has been. But tomorrow is where the temperature gets dialed up to 11 because we enter our quarterfinals. And we will be one step closer to crowning our next world champion. We'll see you then. As the dust settles after a wild first day of competition, our brawlers that have emerged unscathed prepare for our second day of our finals right here, right now, live from Superfest in the heart of Helsinki, Finland. Welcome to day 2 of the Brawl Stars World Finals. Yesterday, 12 of the best teams from around the world went toe-to-toe on this very stage for a quarterfinals spot. And today, just 8 remain. It is going to be an absolutely phenomenal day of Brawl Stars esports, I can assure you. Now, my name's Barney Banks, and I am your host. And remember, we've got $1 million on the line, the Brawl Stars Championship belt. And not only that, but from today, all of our matches are best of 5s. So, with that being said, it is time to send you over to our casters. In the booth, we've got Uber and Kenny.
And what a day for it, folks. My goodness. The atmosphere in here, absolutely electric. Standing room only in the arena here live from Brawlfest in Helsinki. Welcome back to the desk. I'm Mitch Leslie here, joined by Kenneth Barlow III. That's true and real. Guarantee you.
Simply false.
It's a great sounding name, I'm not going to lie.
It is.
And I tell you what, looking back over yesterday, we whittled 12 teams down to 8, Kenny, and we had banger after banger after banger. Some of the most high quality games, the highest density of high quality games we've ever seen in a day of Brawl. And I've got a feeling we're far from done.
This crowd was loud and proud as well. It is buzzing here today. It's tough competition, though. We eliminated an entire region yesterday, and today we've got some of EMEA's finest kicking us off.
Absolutely. EMEA came into this tournament with 5 seeds, so plenty of representation, and much of that has been kept intact. Let's have a look at our results from yesterday and get you up to speed with an explosive day 1. Here are your groups, and bear in mind, these matches were all best of 3s, so there really weren't too many second chances for teams that were slow to start. Group A saw SK Gaming advance in first place with Elevate in second. We saw Reply Totem having to come through LCQ, Kenny, getting out of Group B in first over Pioneers.
And they're one of the few LCQ teams left. They somehow go through the gauntlet, survive, take on SSG, SA's #1, Pioneers #2 in North America, and come out unscathed. On the other end, the Group of Death, Group C, a lot of action went down there. Both of those teams that made it through, Crazy Raccoon, Zeta Division, who we'll see momentarily, are certainly battle-tested.
Now, with 4 EMEA teams in the competition, it was almost inevitable that we'd see an inter-regional clash here in the quarterfinals. Here are your matches for today. We've got 4 best of 5 quarterfinals on deck for you. We're starting with an absolute doozy. 2 teams with massive reputations, huge followings that haven't really played in a game of consequence on the world stage ever.
In terms of international level, Not a lot to it. I mean, Zeta Division has not really faced off against the players of SK Gaming, but safe to say SK Gaming all have roster members that have come just short of success here at an international level. On the other end, however, they're 2023 world champions.
Absolutely, and they mean business here in 2024. Remember, it's the lion's share of $1 million that our teams are competing for here at the Brawl Stars World Finals. $400,000 for first place, trickling down, of course. And all of our competitors today take a minimum of $40,000 away from this event. 4 EMEA teams still in the mix. No survivors from South America, but APAC still looking scary, and North America has their delegates still in the mix. What are your thoughts? Who do you think's going to make it through today? Let us know at event.brawlstars.com. That's the place to be to get involved in the action. Watch the stream and give yourself a chance to earn some fantastic in-game loot. We've unlocked the rest of the reward track, and so Hypercharge is up for grabs over the course of this weekend. Great way to get yourself star drops, pins, and other in-game goodies.
And I think we're going to be pretty split here on the casting desk. I'm curious how the crowd and the viewer audience goes, but I think today's a pretty tough day to predict in general. Looks like starting out,
yes,
expectedly split. Here's the thing though, Uber. There are 3 of us picking SK Gaming. Only 2 are picking the defending world champions.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, they are the defending world champions, but a lot has hard to get a feel for who should come out on top there. SK had such a great start to the year. Tapered off a little bit though, and that might be why we have a couple of our members putting Zeta Division first. They did fall, of course, to Crazy Raccoon yesterday, but the APAC teams, when it comes to LAN, they always look like a different beast entirely. That's your preamble done. The stage is set. It's time to get this party started. Let's head down to Banks and let's get serious.
Thank you so much, Uber and Kenny, and I know I mentioned it earlier, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to see it up close and personal. This right here is the Brawl Stars Championship Belt. What an absolutely epic piece of kit this is. This is what all of our players are trying to fight for and to try and get their hands on, and the closer we get to this belt, the more intense the atmosphere gets in the Superfest arena. But it is about time to meet our first 2 quarter-finalists to make their way to the main stage. Our first team had a narrow loss against Crazy Raccoon. Zeta Division! Their opponents had an absolutely fantastic display yesterday's matches because they are coming from the top seed, hailing from EMEA as well. It's Joker, Lenan, and Yoshi, SK Gaming!
We look to find our first semi-finalist here. SK Gaming and Zeta Division. Plenty of rivalry, plenty of score to settle in this matchup, Kenny.
It's going to be intense. I mean, this is number 2 and number 3 of EMEA. The only team above them, Humble, who had a little bit of controversy yesterday. Zeta Division had to battle against Crazy Raccoon, who ended up getting revenge on these 3 fellas. They're a fantastic group of members. They need no introduction. But one that stood out to us at the casting desk yesterday in particular, Meow. What an outstanding performance to get here.
Yeah, you'd be forgiven for thinking he was the latest advance in AI technology. This guy is absolutely unshakable. But the banter gets real once Rama gets a hold of his phone. These guys are legit, and yesterday Meow, over the course of that series, was often on Rico duty or really put in a position where he had to be dealing huge amounts of consistent damage over the course of the game. We normally have a brawler picked up for that purpose, someone longer range or more consistent in output. Meow was stellar. Unfortunately, pulling up a little bit short against Crazy Raccoon. That's a game, you run it back 10 times, it goes 5-5.
Could have gone either way, and SK Gaming on the other end. A fearsome opponent, Joker, Yashi, Lana, all of them have taken to the global stage many a time, but this roster in particular has to be noted. When you think about SK Gaming, they run through Lana. When talking with these guys, their strategy, full-out aggression. As Lana so delicately put it in an interview, we are very, very aggressive. Emphasis on very. That's what they do. They power up Lana, let him get in the faces of enemies, and Team Captain Joker, Yashi on the other end, they're right there alongside him.
And Joker, in the past, took Lenard's role on other teams, right? He was that superstar. He was that high economy, high investment player. Now on SK Gaming, though, he's taken a bit more of a backseat, is a bit more focused on the strategic side of things. Getting together with Pedro, working out the drafts, and making sure every SK composition is tailor-made to put Lenard in a position to succeed. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday. They'll be eating all day.
There's one thing I've learned about this SK Gaming roster. Lenard eats way more than he doesn't. Oftentimes so aggressive. It's just a hard thing to deal with, especially in a draft setting. You can oftentimes counter out those tanky brawlers. It's not that simple with this guy. You really have to adjust your game plan according to him. Team Captain Joker, also a strong drafter in general. He's a huge part of that dialogue that goes down between the team. It's going to be a tough one to script for Zeta Division.
For a lot of brawlers, Lenard's often put in position 3 in terms of the pick and paved the way for Zeta Division to be a household name, not only in EMEA, but globally in Brawl Stars.
And it's been polar opposites. Even though they are only 1 seed apart in this region, both had direct tickets to the World Finals. SK Gaming started off the year hot. 0 sets dropped in that top 8. A Grand Finals win. 0 Grand Finals appearances the rest of the way.
Right.
And somehow we're still putting our faith in them. In scrims, in practices, this is a team that I have heard getting a lot of juice from other pro players. Their success rate was really high. And I'm just going to trust in the fact that these guys can deliver on a LAN setting as well. I almost feel like they're due in a sense. Should Zeta Division be the favorites? Yeah, I think they should. They're the defending world champion. They were ahead in seeding. But at the end of the day, these players are way too talented not to finally grab a marquee win for their careers.
And it doesn't matter what kind of year SK Gaming have had. It really doesn't. When we get to a LAN like this, we always believe there's a chance. But you at home at event.brawlstars.com feel like this is Zeta Division's game to lose. In fairness, we're pretty split on the caster desk as well. We're headed to Knockout first. It'll be out in the open. A map where you really got to think about taking brawlers that can operate over water. Taking sharpshooters. Pearl will be pretty hotly contested, but that's been banned straight away for SK Gaming. They do
% win rate. And one thing to keep in mind too in terms of the brawler pool, only 3 sets of maps, but everybody kind of secure in that. Now that we have those settled maps, we kind of know exactly how teams are feeling in terms of the draft. Gus's success rate not high, but he was played a whole lot.
And the question is, are SK Gaming, even on a knockout map, are they angling for a Kenji pick, potentially? We've often seen Gus paired with these high-risk brawlers to try and make a play with that shield, but Angelo feels like a must-have on this map. He can operate on the left-hand side, of course, being able to cross that water, has extremely high burst damage and high mobility to boot.
I thought Angelo was going to be the first overall pick, considering he was a top 3 ban yesterday. And granted, we did have a lot of knockout, a lot of bounty yesterday, but it's clear that pro players really value him for this game mode, and especially on out in the open, like you alluded to, you need that mobility, the extra space to get around that indestructible wall. Huge difference maker.
So Centerpiece Brawler picked up here for Zeta Division. Now they can start thinking about how they fill the rest of this out. Meg comes in here with a reduction to her maximum range on her primary fire. Recently, she doesn't cover the map quite as easily and will need to play a bit more aggressive in a side lane on a lot of maps. But here, when push comes to shove, Meg having a second life virtually after getting knocked out of the mech, being able to potentially fall back, recover, get back in the mech, means that she's quite difficult to deal with in knockout.
At a professional level, this is going to be her best game mode for that exact reason. You got to deal with her twice, and when you only get 3 lives, having a 4th, if you will, is a big difference maker. Lola making an appearance here. This is going to be an attempt at shredding through this Meg. They need high DPS to bring Meg down to just a measly pea shooter with a tiny pistol. And of course, Angelo, as a sharpshooter with only 1 projectile, not going to do too well into the extra spawner that Lola brings with that super.
This